Well, we are here to help families make the best decisions to meet their children's needs. So we're coming to you today to share all about Pepin Academies and give Pepin an opportunity to showcase their wonderful work. So I will kick it over to our friends at Pepin to introduce themselves before we get started with a conversation.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much, Kelly and Guide Ed, for having us. We're honored to be here. My name is Dr. Jeff Skronik. I am the executive director for all of the Pepin Academies campuses. We're sitting live from the Tampa campus on Hillsborough Avenue. We have a campus in Riverview off of 301 and a campus in Newport Richey on Osteen Road. Thank you for having us.
Hi, my name is Amy Herring. I'm here work at the Tampa campus. I'm an admin assistant. I'm also a parent. My son goes to the school as well.
Hi, my name is, we're going to mute the other one. Okay, so hi, my name is Taylor Case. I'm one of the assistant principals here. I also work mainly with the student support, and then I work with admissions and the application process.
Thank you all so much. How wonderful to get three perspectives, and particularly Amy, to have a parent here sharing your perspective is going to be wonderful. And I know that anybody listening will really value your perspective and your opinion, because we know parents know what's best for their children. So I'm always delighted to get to hear why a parent chose the school where their children attend.
Absolutely, and I'm happy to give my story and shout it from the rooftops, because it was life-changing, and I'd love to share my experience.
Oh, wonderful. So we'll make sure that we weave that into the conversation so that everyone can hear why it was such a great fit for you. So I guess first off, just a general question for all of you. Tell us a little bit about your school, your mission, and what grade levels you offer.
Pepin Academies are 501c3, not-for-profit, independent charter schools here in Hillsborough and Pasco County. We serve students in 3rd through 12th grade who all have individualized education plans, or IEPs, and all have some form of learning-related disability. We've been in operation for 25 years now. Our first campus was here in Tampa, and then we grew to Riverview and Newport Richey. And our goal, really, and our mission is to, through utilizing a therapeutic educational environment, maximize the potential of all of our students in a place that is safe and welcoming. Our motto is where belonging leads to learning, and we truly value how important it is that everyone feels like they matter, and everyone knows that they have something important to give to society. And so across our 3rd through 12th grade environment, we ensure that we instill respect, responsibility, and integrity across everything that we do. And that has helped us achieve great success, not only in graduation rates as high as 96% last year, but also in productive citizens for a future of our community.
Wonderful. You mentioned a therapeutic learning environment. Can you share a little bit more about what that means?
I believe that really is one of the cornerstones of who we are. At Pepin Academies, we kind of combat the implicit idea in society, which is, when you come to school, if you have students that have unique needs, whatever those might be, very often parents are having to find ways to get their students to therapies before or after school. And for any family, whether it is a 2-parent household, single family, one kid, many kids, it's still difficult in the day-to-day life to ensure that, okay, now school's done at 3:15 and I better get to this appointment and that appointment. And for our students and their multifaceted needs, the reality is that the needs don't stop from 7:30 to 3:15. And at Pepin Academies, we've found a way to kind of rearrange the pieces of education in the model to say that we can integrate all of these elements of therapy into the day. And so on every single campus, we have multiple speech and language pathologists, multiple mental health counselors, be it a licensed mental health counselor or a social worker. We have occupational therapists. We have a registered nurse. We contract with a physical therapist, and we ensure that our students get the needs that are identified in their accommodations of their IEP throughout the school day. You're not waiting till 4 o'clock to see a mental health counselor. A student has a need right now, we're going to address it. And the reality is that many times it's these very needs that are impacting the learning. So we have to hit them head on when they're facing those challenges. And so we have individual sessions that we do. We have group sessions. students or therapists go into the class, or students can be pulled out of the class.
Wow.
We're doing a full gamut of it throughout the day. And it really is what makes us so special.
That's really special. And I think about my own children, and Amy, you may be able to weigh in here, but you pick them up from school and they're exhausted. Like the thought of even taking my son to tutoring, I pick him up from school, and for his brain to have to continue and really ramp up again is a real challenge. And I would imagine that for students with an IEP, that challenge is even greater. So to get them while they're fresh, or when you know that they're already in school mode, is such a huge win for all of them.
It's amazing. I was going to therapies 4 days a week out of the 5 days, which left no time to really do anything enjoyable outside of the school and the therapy. And that's changed after him being here. So absolutely, it's a huge weight lifted off my shoulders. He's getting what he needs right here at the school, and it's great. And the best thing too is that they're all communicating. So speech pathologists, occupational therapists, teachers, and they're all on the same page. Whereas when they're getting therapy outside, that communications piece isn't there. That's missing. Right. So that's an extra added layer. That's
right. When you're doing all of those therapies outside, it's mom and dad or whoever the caregiver is that really has to be air traffic control, ensuring that everyone's communicating with each person. So this really sounds like an incredible gift to a family to be able to have a one-stop shop, for their kids to get everything that they need. So my next question was going to be, what makes your school unique? And I think we certainly touched on that, but maybe each one of you has your own thought or idea aside from this therapeutic learning environment that you think makes Pepin Academies unique.
I have a lot. I'm biased for sure, but that therapeutic model is certainly very important to us. But I also think that we don't shy away from trying to make this as traditional experience as possible. Not to take anything away from any schools, everyone does things differently, and all of those serve a different purpose. That's the value of choice, right? Everyone can have something different. And I think here, not only are we combining the therapeutic model, but we're also saying to those students with various forms of learning-related disabilities, your dyslexia, dysgraphia, dyscalculia, ADHD. We do have some students with autism here. We have students with sensory coordination issues. We have a wide variety of students. And what we know about students and children in general is that they're first and foremost children and students, right. And they want certain things from school. And even though we are an ESC center and every student has an IEP and there's therapists across all of our campuses, we still make sure we do all the things that make school, right? Our students have opportunities for different electives. We have culinary classes. We have PEs. Kids belong outside every now and then, and they get to have PE. We have sports teams. We have clubs. We have performing arts and amazing, drama and theater productions. And our students can participate in, National Honor Society and student government. All the things that you would see in a traditional school that very often students with various forms of learning disabilities get excluded from, we're putting it front and center. And we're saying you all have the potential to do something great. And ultimately, what I like to say is that people very often talk about thinking outside the box. You don't need to necessarily do that to be successful. I think that what society has to figure out to be a truly inclusive society is how to make the box bigger, or how to rework the pieces in the box to make them fit. And that's what we've done here. We have a modified academic calendar. So we start a little bit earlier than the traditional districts. Our students come back in July, but then we spread out the breaks throughout the year. Speaking of a general box of education, we have 180 days. We just fit them differently to make it work better for our students and our staff. And so we've reworked this model to make it successful for our students' needs. And we haven't done anything outside the box. We just reworked it to let them know that there's a potential for them. And ultimately, it's up to us to figure out the unique ways to find the potential for each one of those students. And that hits home on another thing that I think is so special about us is our staff collectively across the board, not just their passion for our students and their knowledge of ESC, but how to understand each individual student's needs and how, you can't just kind of teach to the middle at a school that has almost 1,200 students that all have different accommodations and different needs. And our staff embrace our students in that way and say, you know what, I'm going to push you. I'm going to challenge you, because that's how I'm going to find your success. And there's nothing more rewarding when we find that moment of success in our students. And I can go on, but I'll stop and let the resident parents and AP tell you what they think is special.
Yes, your passion for Pepin Academies is so palpable. And I love what you said about we're just making the box bigger. And really what you're doing is it's not something, a reinvention of the wheel. It's not a new invention. You're just restructuring it in a way that it's accessible to everyone. And I think that's a very humble way of saying that what you're doing is ingenious, because not everybody does it that way. So it's a humble way to say that you really are doing something novel that shouldn't be novel, but it is, because not enough schools are doing it.
I appreciate that perspective.